So I wanted to take a quick minute to talk a little bit about what happens when your kids are in the middle and they're struggling to pick a different parent. I had that issue yesterday during an award ceremony for my daughter. Actually, she said it was supposed to be tomorrow, and what ended up happening is she was wrong. So I got to work and she texted me and said, "Oh crud, the award ceremony is today." So I went ahead and rearranged my morning schedule so I could actually go see the ceremony. I try to make most of them. I almost wasn't able to do it. So the thing is whenever you're dealing with that and you're I guess running the scenarios in your head, you know, one of the things you could think of, like I was thinking, is like, well, if the ex is going to go, I already, you know, I hadn't planned for it. So maybe this would be a good opportunity to just say, sorry, I can't make it, and not show up. Now, fortunately, as I mentioned before, my job's pretty flexible and allows me to move things around. And the school is literally, you know, like maybe a mile or two from where I work. So it's if I can get out of, you know, a couple of meetings, then I can make it. So I went ahead and did that. I had mentioned I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to go, so my daughter wasn't sure I was going to be there. So typically what I'll do is I'll get there early, make sure I have space for everyone, so if the ex shows up, there's a place to sit. Now, since I was running late, that's not what happened. I got there, the ex was there. I sat where I normally sit, had spaces for everybody. Daughter comes in, teams up, or goes straight to her mom, and you know, picks her, so to speak. Now, here's the struggle with this is I don't think no matter what happens, when stuff like that happens, you feel like intrinsically you feel like your child is making a choice. It's like, okay, well, if there's, you know, if it's on two different sides, whoever she picks is, you know, who she likes more or whatever. And you know, I think that's one of those feelings that just kind of sticks with you. I mean, I've been through this quite a bit, and I understand, you know, I mean, I understand this whole process, but I mean, to be perfectly honest, I mean, that's the type of stuff that falls into my mind, you know. I mean, daughter comes in, you know, she sees me, she waves, she sits with her mom, and I'm thinking, seriously? You know, and then, but, you know, you slow yourself down, and you're like, okay, well, are you here for them to pick you? Are you here to support your child? And I'm there to support my daughter in getting her, you know, I mean, she's got honor roll all the time. We're a little worried about this time. She was kind of struggling in one of the classes, so she wasn't sure if she was going to make it. But pretty much every semester, she's got honor roll on all through high school, junior high, and through elementary school. So this is where it's really important to be able to slow yourself down for a minute and not allow the emotions of the situation to overpower you. And it's much easier said than done, but it's really important, right? I mean, think about it. You know, even if, you know, daughter picks her mom to sit next to her mom, she's still excited. You know, your child's still going to be excited to see you. They're still going to be happy. You know, when the team, I was kind of worried. It's like, well, what's going to happen whenever it comes time to take the picture? Is she even going to acknowledge me? You know, I stood up to go take the picture, and, you know, daughter looked at me and then looked at her mom. So it was fine. But you can find yourself struggling where you're like trying to figure things out or second guess things, or, you know, it can hurt your feelings. And bottom line is, so here's the reality of it. Your ex has this amazing ability to pretend like nothing's wrong. So anything you do or say or do that kind of shows that you're upset, they are absolutely going to use against you. So your best bet is to remain as calm as possible, and even if it's not going the way you would like, don't worry about it. Just be there. Even if my daughter decided not to look at me and only had her mom take the picture, which her mom never shares. I mean, you know, there's a whole other subset of stuff with that. Whatever. You have to keep that in mind, because otherwise what happens is it's a method to triangulate you against your child. And anytime that your ex is able to do that just by subtle subversive tactics, and I wouldn't necessarily say this is a subtle subversive tactic on this particular situation. What I will say is that a 6 years of this whole separation plus the time before of the kids being conditioned that you damn well better choose mom, even though she acts like it's no big deal. So you have to keep in mind that there's subtle programming that's taking effect, that there's been years of conditioning for your kids to decide what to do at the spur of the moment for their own, for their own sanity. Now, you would think that in the early stages of this, when you are getting upset, that they would actually choose you. But the sad truth of this is every time that you respond negatively, it actually drives your child more to that other person. And the reason for that is whenever the other parent or the narcissistic parent is able to act calm and just like nothing matters, then anytime you're getting stressed out, the kids feel that anxiety and stress with you, and then the other house feels safe. That's why it's so important to really control your response, measure your response, make sure that you're not reacting emotionally. And guys, it is super tough. I'm saying this, and this is not something that was easy. This took me years to deal with. And like I was just talking about, even this morning, I was feeling those residual, PTSD responses as a result of this stuff because of all the past issues that have happened. The thing is if you can just focus on not your ex, just focus on being there for your child and, just putting on a good front, more than likely it's going to go okay. You're also going to continue to build the relationship with your child, and things have a tendency to calm down. Okay, but the key to this is not allowing your ex to draw you into their vortex of hell. And that's really tough. So, I could say all this stuff, but if you go and you leave that event and you're fixated on, whatever, your child decides to sit with the other parent, maybe they give them the certificate. My daughter gave me the certificate because I collect them. But all those different things, if that's happening, then that's a problem, right? Because the flip side to this is you don't necessarily want to go to something like this and then spend the next 3 or 4 days ruminating about it and having it destroy your mood. That's where if you're at that stage and you really are struggling with that, in that situation, I would encourage you to, you have a meeting, you can't make it. Because you have to take care of yourself first. Once you get a little bit of understanding on this and you can go and you can basically kind of bite your tongue, ignore the ex, utilize that absolute thinking, knowing that it's all fake and it's all manipulation. Use the black hole thinking that it doesn't matter what's going on with there. Focus on what's happening with your child. Focus on your interaction with them. Now, if it doesn't go necessarily well, as long as they somehow acknowledge you and smile, that's a victory. If they come over to make sure you can take a picture, that's a victory. If they come over and give you a big hug, that's a victory. So to wrap this up, bottom line is focus on what's going on with your child. Look for the little victories. That is the key. And if you're in a situation where they aren't happy to see you, just be there, wave at them, even if they give you a dirty look, just so that they know if you can stomach all this, that you're there. All right, I'm going to wrap this up so I can get back to work, and I'll chat with you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye.